What's up, assholes? So how's it going, Tekken fam? I know that you guys have been waiting on this video to see what my thoughts and reaction to Season 4 is. Trust me on this, you're not going to be disappointed. This one will be worth the wait. This video is worth the wait. Okay, so let's start this off and get this clear. I want to establish this at the beginning. I've said in my previous videos, and I've shown just a fraction of this before, that I can read people's subconscious through the filter of social media. It's almost like a language, kind of. And it all has to stem from subconscious clues that stem from our body language. And the biggest one is like mirroring, like what you're focused on and who your attention is on at that moment, you will mirror them. And I've learned that social media, because I never fucked with social media before until like things like this. Social media has its own language. And I've recently learned that. It's like you do something and I will see a person, when I know specifically they're watching me, they will mirror things. And they'll post something, and it's almost like a reaction, like having a conversation. And then when I see that, if I want to continue the conversation, I post something, and except I'm such a direct person, I'll directly say something back to them. Because I'm not into this where people pretend to ignore somebody and they don't. I want to break these barriers down and actually start having like real conversations. But until then, I have to play the game of the social media breakdown. But when I was saying that I could read people's subconscious through the filter of social media, that wasn't a joke. And I'm going to show you guys a fraction, just an example of the things I see. Because don't let the numbers on my YouTube channel fool you. It isn't how many people are watching, it's who's watching. That's the most important. And there's an interesting thing about false numbers, because even I know how to do this. If somebody wants to watch my video without it showing a view, it's easy. All you have to do is get the location, and there's ways to watch it. I know how to do it. Every single main YouTuber, influencers, they all know how to do it. Everybody knows how to do it. So don't be fooled by that. But I'm going to show you how this works and how I know when people are watching my videos and how I've influenced them. Because what happens is when I post a video, it's usually within a day, maybe even the same day, hours later, next day, or within days, or a week, or something like that, they will mirror what caught their interest about my video on them. They'll mirror it, either in words or actions, or like a response to something I've said. And here's the key to this. It's always after my videos, never before. That's how I know they're reacting to my videos. It's always after. And here's the thing. There are some people that are so clever and so smart, they figured out that I've been doing this. And what they will do is either subconsciously, and some of these people do it consciously, will send me specifically, clues that they know they watched, and it's like they're replying to me. And they're so clever, they know how to do this, and it's like having a direct conversation with the person. It's fascinating, but remember, it's always after my video. Hours later, day later, days, or even a week or something like that. It's always after. But watch the influence, and watch this language that's been going on. And all the people, the specific people, and this is just an example, I'm not even showing everything, of who's been watching these videos. Watch and learn. Check it out. When it came to Tekken, it wasn't because it was a new game and stuff like that. That's not what made it sell 5 million copies right off the bat. No, it was because of the tournaments. When the tournaments started coming out, it was the perfect storm that hit at the right time. Everybody got to see that how complex this game is, how deep of a legacy that this game has. So when tournaments stopped, how did it go from 5 million to 6 million? Well, that comes down to things like this. It's the personalities. People want to be part of something that's really cool and stuff like that, and popular, like interesting things, and the.
You know, Death Stranding doesn't need a tournament to exist. A Death Stranding tournament doesn't need to happen. But fighting games need these things to happen to like inspire and create growth and, you know, all this stuff. You need it. Butthurt, and it's fair. A lot of people are butthurt, and it's not cool to do that. You know, it's just not cool. End of story. I don't think anyone thinks it's cool. I don't even think Namcops think it's cool. I have a feeling it's pretty clear that someone fucked up. And, you know, it's not really just this event that matters. That's the thing. I want you to really pay attention. Really open your ears here. It's not about Season 4. It's really not. It's not even just about Tekken or Tekken 7. It's about how fighting games rely on tournaments and creators and commentators.
Coming back. We're gonna have another arena like this. We're gonna have, oh yeah. This is so crazy. The whole thing powerful, bro. This is one thing. We need Evo back. We need big arenas back. I miss all this, you know. I definitely miss this. We've done so many of these throwbacks, and none of them made me feel the way I felt today. Like, I've always missed these off events every time we do one of these throwbacks, you know, remembering the memories from all of them and all, but this was the one right now where I was like, man, I really missed this.
And like, you can see a bunch of people there. I was talking to them, like, I was talking to them and they were like, yo, bro, I don't even watch Tekken like that, but like, this right here, like, that's crazy. That's not like any other game, you know what I'm saying? And like, every time that happens, every time that's what happens, you get people to see it for the first time and they're like, bro, I didn't know Tekken was like putting on events like that, like the competition was stacked like that. Like,
being like fucking really damn good. That's kind of like, okay, picture like this. The statue of David by Michelangelo, right? Okay.
Came from, and then Pakistan is there, and then Arslan Ash, and then we got like, you know, in essence, you know, David versus Goliath, right? But then
think about our modern tournaments and realize that this is not the case. Like, let's say an event like Combo Breaker, right? There's 200 or 500 player brackets for a game. You see the top players in that game losing in pool, or losing to someone right outside of pool. It's before top 64, right? They're fighting people in top 128 who are beating or close to beating some of the best players in the game. And every pool looks like that. Every pool has 2 to 3 top players that are world level talent players who could be in top 8 of the event. And they're struggling and losing to people, right? And going into losers, top 256 in the bracket instead of top 64, top 32. Like, we just see that. So it's pretty clear that there are strong players in all levels of events currently. And if the argument's about, like, there's no casual players, you went there to win because every quarter was your grand final. I mean, people pay lots of money to go to events today. If the argument is fighting for quarters made us better, people now fight for $250,000. So if it's money that motivates people to be better, then we've got that beat. If it's volume of players, we've got that beat. If it's amount of high-level players, I think we've got that beat. It's just very strange. I can tell you from 10 years ago when I started going to offline events to now, the level of play is significantly higher. Just in 10 years. There's more players now. The pools are more difficult. The players are playing at a higher level. Like, everybody's just better.
It's on my account.
It's on me, man.
It's my money, bro.
You owe me 500 grand, bro.
He owes you money, not me.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Oh, God.
All right, Tekken community. Everything I just showed you when it comes to chess, when it comes to Tekken, when it comes to the mind games, all right? I'm going to show you how you can use those skills and that mindset, not just to win at like chess and poker and Tekken. You can actually use those skills that I showed you and use them in life to take down a real opponent. Because what you practice in life actually becomes your subconscious and actually how you becomes part of your personality.
And to be honest, that translates to other things in life too. This isn't just a fighting game thing. I'm telling you right now, things like footsies and things like dedication and the shit that it takes to be good at fighting games doesn't translate to just fighting games. I learned this shit a long time ago, that it translates to real life. About playing footsies in fucking real life. Why am I going to put myself in bad situations and shit like that? Why am I going to set myself up to be punished for 80% damage? You know? Apply that shit to real life and just think about it, right? Why am I not going to try my best if I'm going into a situation where I know I need to perform to not perform at my best or some shit like that?
Well, what about Jin's 4-4? What about Kazuya's 4-3 that hits at range 3.4? Jin's 4-4 doesn't even hit at range 3. I think it's like 2.8. And it's only negative 13, so at that range it's completely safe. What about Kazuya's sidestep 3 that does a launcher? What about his back 4 that tracks and on counter hit does a tailspin launcher? What about his 4-4-4 that on counter hit does a full launcher? You don't have to commit to any Zen or anything like that. It also does better tracking because it's a forward move, and it also hits grounders. And all 4 of those moves I just mentioned of Kazuya are safe. These characters are exactly the same. The only difference between them is a couple pokes and a couple strings. That's it. They are exactly the same.
Okay, this just picked up. Nice back 4. I came back to Tekken and the meta completely changed with Kazuya. Like, everyone's using back 4, forward 4, wall rising 3. Like, I don't know this Kazuya. Like, I feel like I had to learn the matchup again.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you played really well.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to play a bit more often, you know, so I'm a bit better than before.
Yeah.
And then you look at Jin's down back 4, which should have not been nerfed because it launches and Kazuya's launches. Now Jin's down back 4 is only negative 13. Kazuya's is only negative 14. There's only 1 frame difference. And guess what? Kazuya's is better. Why? Because it crushes highs. Jin, you're standing in front of him, you can jab it out of it. You try to jab Kazuya, it'll launch it. You'll get launched because it crushes highs. Not only that, it hits grounded. Not only that, you can cancel it. Okay, this move right here. I've been getting away with this move forever, and there's a reason behind it. One, not many people have used the move much, and it wasn't brought up much, so I was able to sneak this move in a lot. Because let's say I'm playing somebody and I'm sprinkling this in, and let's say I get a counter hit and I know it hurt them. Took like, and if there's a wall, I took like half their life. Also don't know who this guy is, but this guy always pops up every now and then on my newsfeed, and sometimes I watch his videos when he talks about Tekken. And this little skit he did at the end had me fucking dying laughing when it comes to laughing, and this one's fucking perfect.
And I'm out of breath. Thank you guys for all the love. We'll see you soon. Peace.
Blah, blah, blah. Subscribe.
Ask you a question. How come you don't ever like me? Like me? Who the hell said I got to like you?
How do you take it? I don't know if it's annoying or if you just take it as flattering when you just be surfing the internet and all of a sudden, bam, you see Smug did this, Smug does that, Smug and FT10, Smug, like when you see on somebody else's channel, them basically covering you, like something you're like, oh shit, I didn't know this was a video, you know?
Well, well, I think like overall, it's still good because like, you know, you're getting recognition.
So the way I see it is, you basically got to pretend you're Professor X from the X-Men, right? What is Professor X's power? What is Professor X's power? Professor X can read minds, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like that with YouTube comments. Basically, YouTube comments are things that you wouldn't see in person, what people won't tell you, right? The stuff that people say is almost like a window into someone's mind. It's almost like you're reading someone's mind. Just remember, make that be a reminder that it is a superpower, even though it sucks sometimes.
But another interesting thing about this video is this entire dev story is about Leroy and Fuck You Man, right? Now, the cast is getting to about 50 characters, right? Even though this entire video is about Leroy and Fuck You Man, there's only one, he mentions one other Tekken character throughout this entire video. Just one. One other character. Out of a cast of about 50 characters. Guess which character is the one he mentioned?
そうだよね、海外でもやっぱり鉄拳っつったらいったカポエラだったりとか、ジンの本物の空手になった段階もあったりとか、
ね、やっぱり
ジンの本物の空手になった段階もあったりとか、
ね、やっぱり
ジンの本物の空手になった段階もあったりとか、
ね、やっぱり
ジンの本物の空手になった段階もあったりとか、
ね、やっぱり
Wasn't that interesting? See, 5 million copies sold, and it's still a small community in a small world, isn't it, Michael? And right beside Lucky Chloe, with all his scars and all his tattoos and his shape and his size, look at him side by side to Lucky Chloe. And look at his name. Fukuman? How about fuck you, man? You guys just got trolled and you haven't even fucking caught on yet. This is the kind of guy you're dealing with right now. So now take that with the original design of Fuck You Man and look at this together. Ta-da!
And this is a pretty divisive character design. When she was revealed, many people were upset because it's so obviously not the kind of aesthetic that most fighting game players respond to. She's kind of icky and sticky and Japanesey, and many people probably feel that if you like this kind of character, you deserve to be on some sort of list. And Harada wasn't happy with that feedback, and he said, you know, maybe next time I'll give you a big, scary, muscly guy with a skinhead haircut. And eventually we got Fuck 'em Long, so I guess maybe these characters are related in that way.
K-Wise just ran into this exact same problem because he ran into a guy who was cheating and using a bot that instantly, get this, instantly broke throws and instantly blocked lows. I'll leave the link to that video in here.
There's nothing I can do. I can't win this. I can't win this. So once again, I do have to extend my thanks to you guys for the support recently. It honestly has been crazy on YouTube and on Twitch. Things have been looking really good recently.
And you guys don't even realize this exact same mentality is what has led to the fucking disaster that was Leroy and Fuck You Man. Because I love mind games. I'm an artist. The things I can do, I love the IP Man style of fighting. Just the things I could do, and he wouldn't need stupid fucking gimmicks like that dumbass stab. He wouldn't need these fucking reversals that you can't chicken, which is bullshit. That Fuck You Man and Leroy both have these type of things. But he wouldn't need that stuff, that we can actually have a very unique fighter that would match his design. And then
with another video, and as you can see, we'll be playing the martial law right now. What's quite interesting is, you know, we have the Leroy custom, the mod to go on law, and we're playing against Leroy in our waiting screen, which is good as well, because beating up on Leroy always makes me feel good, just because how much I hate this character.
You got Bandai, what are you fucking thinking? I mean, my god, I love y'all, but what are you fucking thinking nerfing somebody like Devil Jin? There's one Devil Jin player. I don't even play Devil Jin. I'm not a big Devil Jin fan. He's the only machine that I don't play. I play Hiyachi, I play Kazuya, I play Jin, but I find Devil Jin clunky. I mean, maybe it's subconscious because I'm a Christian, it might have something to do with it, but I mean, I don't have any taste for him. But I don't give a fuck. I don't care if somebody uses Devil Jin, but you nerf him for no fucking reason. There is one Devil Jin player. One consistent Devil Jin player. He isn't all over the place. He isn't that popular of a character, and there's one, and you nerf him. Kudance is the only one. 2 years ago, he's the world fucking champ. Last year, he's second place. He could have been the world champ twice. And you frustrate him and you piss him off. And one fucking brat who sits on his couch is appeased by this. That is idiotic.
Like, I think one of the perfect examples of that is Devil Jin. Devil Jin has been top tier since like the start of this game, but the only person who has really been playing the character and, you know, doing anything with the character on a global scale has been Kudance. Kudan's been the only Devil Jin loyalist, right? Obviously, Ni has picked him every so often. Kokoma has picked him every so often. That shield is so stupid. They pick the character every so often, but you know, people not picking him doesn't prove anything about him not being strong. And I think I just don't like the debate of, if this character is so good, why are they not winning every single tournament, right? And even still, like if we go back to Paul, like Knee picks Paul, Kokoma picks Paul. Like, yes, there aren't many Paul mains, I guess, but he is used by the top characters. And at the end of the day, my argument will always be players win tournaments, characters don't. Obviously, some characters like Fak and Leroy and Akuma, you know, they can fall under that, but for the most part, it's a players thing, and I think people just put too much stock on characters being good rather than players. It's something that I myself personally deal with, because whenever I do well, there's a little section of people that come and say, well, Hwoarang is so da-da-da-da-da. You know, Chaos is winning tournaments now. Must be that Hwoarang. He's like, you know.
One of the times that one of my ankles is sprained, my other main, one of his legs gets completely nerfed. 4-4 and a down back 4 for no reason. I just programmed him. I didn't download him. I didn't download him or anything like that. What I actually did is I programmed this player to do what I wanted to, because I know he would adapt. I was already a couple moves ahead. And you can apply this, and this is part of the strategy from Tekken. And you can actually start applying it, Kazuya players, you can actually start applying this concept today as one of your first building blocks of mind games, of getting inside people's heads. And I'm also going to show you an example of me doing this exact same thing with Paul. He knows that this guy's going to respect his lows, and he's going to duck. Boom. Boom. And he gets him to duck again. Bam. See, what he actually did there, he wasn't guessing right there. What he did is he forced his opponent to adapt. This is advanced mind games in Tekken. He got inside his head, and he was already a move ahead. What he did is he chipped away, chipped away, chipped away. When he got that counter hit, he knew then this guy's going to respect my lows. His next move, obviously and wisely, would be to duck, because I'm going to try to hit him again with a low. Bam, bam. And then he got him to duck again, because the guy was so worried about getting hit with that low because it hurt. It was a chip, 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 a big bang, and then he knew he was already a move ahead, knowing the guy was adapt, and he used him adapting to finish the round off. This is advanced skill. This is what Tekken's about. It's about these type of mind games. It's about playing chess. It has nothing to do with the characters, because...
Is Fakuram still your main? I'm gradually picking him up, and boy is he a blast. I love him, but I've explained this a number of times now, but what detracts from his fun is that very few people learn the matchup or have bothered to look him up in the least. So what you end up doing is not applying his fun mind games when you play him online. Rather, you just do string A and string B, because people don't adapt at all to the character. So if I don't get to apply the mind games, it's just boring, because I'm just going through the motions, doing string, 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 that guard break, everyone needs to guard break, guard break, and then everyone says, oh, cheap, cheap, and it's yeah, it's not a lot of fun, and it's too bad. He's really cool.
It's fun to watch people in agony over shit that's like not fair, you know? I feel like, yeah, you're right, but I don't care and you do, you know? So it's really nice as a spectator to just sit back and point fingers. Damn, you care. Look at him. Look at him care. You know, it's fascinating watching people care about shit and be in agony like that. I've been there. Maybe that's why I like it so much. I've been there. I've been there. I used to care. I know how much it sucks. Oh man, remember Soul Calibur 4 Hildy? That was outrageous, dude. That was so fucked up because at that time they didn't update games like that. It didn't update. They didn't update games like that. So if you got a character, that was it. If this character's cheap, that's it. So the only way to solve the problem is to ban the character. And getting a character to be banned is like running for fucking president or something. You have to like have a campaign and all this shit, right? So I didn't give a fuck about that. I knew Hildy was so fucking cheap. And I said, you guys better ban her or the game's gonna die. This is back when I used to care, you see. I was like, it's gonna die. The game is fucking garbage with this character. She ruins the whole fucking thing. They're like, Eris is an idiot. He's whining. He doesn't know the matchup. He's an idiot, you know, talking all this shit. Then the game dies. Then, to save the game, they ban him. I was the thing that I'm laughing at now. Back then. Now, I'm laughing at the guy who gets fucking owned over tiers fucking with their fighting game. I'm laughing at that guy. Hey, look at you! I used to be you. Man, that sucked. It was agonizing. Thank you. Look at you. That's how I feel. So you can see it's so entertaining from my perspective, knowing that I've been there and endured how badly it sucks when you love a game and a character comes out that fucking shits all over the game's integrity, and then you have to deal with exterior things like fucking morons who don't agree or claim that they know what they're talking about, but they really don't. All these things, you know, like, it's just a bunch of stress. And then you have to deal with exterior things like fucking morons who don't agree or claim that they know what they're talking about, but they really don't. And then you have to deal with exterior things like fucking morons who don't agree or claim that they know what they're talking about, but they really don't.
I'm gonna make you look like a fucking idiot. Then I'm gonna have my boy Eris fuck your mom. Then I'm gonna have my boy No Pants take a picture of you and draw a little beard on it so everybody knows Eris is your fucking dad now. I mean, I'm not gonna fuck your MILF. My standards are way too fucking high. Eris will fuck your MILF. He'll fuck all your MILFs. And let this sink in. He's probably fucking your MILFs in the exact same room he's streaming in. That is a legend when it comes to trolling and being a savage. See, Eris, you got my back, I got yours, brother. I'm gonna send a bunch of fucking MILFs your way. That is a legend. That is a legend.
You guys got anything else to tell me? I feel like some... Oh! Big other news. EVO Japan this weekend. Usually EVO is pretty tight when it comes to allowing restreams. Allegedly, Markman the Legend has... everyone can restream it. Markman the Legend... Markman the Legend... I have a limited hard drive space up here. I can only remember funny things. And that's it. So if he wants to be remembered, maybe he should do something funny.
And just keep in mind, those are only examples of everything I see. And that's not even scratching the surface. But after I got Harada's message, remember, keep this in mind also. When I figured out that Michael Murray was in charge, I did that without any research. All that was is me just looking and seeing and being able to figure it out like that. When I saw season 3, see, Michael, I didn't even know who the fuck you were because I didn't care. I just saw this guy on stage with Harada constantly doing, just translating for him. I didn't know, but as soon as I saw season 3, and I saw it, and I knew the personality had changed, I was like, this fits. What the fuck is this? This fits the personality of that guy who's translating for Harada. This is his personality. This isn't Harada's personality, and I caught that. And that, remember, you don't even realize all the little things that I can pick up. Nobody does. But that's how I figured it out. And I did that without any research. But once I got Harada's message, because in my last video I was like, well, I'm glad Harada's back because he put things went down on lockdown to keep things hush-hush, which is something I suggested to do because it's a good business strategy and that's something Harada would do. But that wasn't. What that was is Michael Murray listening to me and taking my advice. So basically what happened in that last video is when I welcomed Harada back, okay, so let's break this down what actually happened. They promoted Harada to the esports department, making him co-producer of Tekken, promoting Michael Murray to main producer, so Michael Murray has the final say in everything now because Harada is running 2 things. So it's more like Harada's like an advisor. Okay, so in my last video when I thought Harada was back and I said that pissed Michael Murray off because he has an ego problem. Just like we've seen this before, like I showed in this previous video. Now, y'all remember that video in at the Tekken finals where Harada comes up and he's talking to Tasty Steve and he was like, you're a good commentator, but that singing, you gotta fucking stop it. Pay attention to the details of what Michael Murray does during that. What he does is he comes up behind Rip. He puts his hand on his shoulder. He tells him to move his other arm. He pats him on the shoulder. He pulls back. And after Harada goes, stop that, he walks away. Michael Murray comes in and says, you can keep singing. What he's doing there, he can't take it that Harada, now Harada's talking to him on an equal level, but Michael Murray coming up is putting his hand on Rip like he owns him. That's the subconscious text behind it, but it isn't just Rip. That's symbolism to the entire Tekken community. Because Michael Murray just can't stand it. Why did he have to feel the need to come up when Harada's talking to him? Because he couldn't take it anymore. And here's the thing, you can reverse role when you see somebody doing a body language. All you have to do is put your body in that scenario. Your subconscious will program your brain and you can actually feel what they were feeling. So if you came up to a person and you put your hand on their shoulder and said, move the other arm, patted him on the shoulder, you can feel what he's feeling. And then Harada says, stop that. He walks away. Michael Murray says, you can keep doing it. So he comes up, puts his hands on him, pats him on, move your arm, pats him on the shoulder. Stop that. You can keep doing it. If you do that, you'll feel what he's feeling in here. It's fucking arrogance. He feels like he should be running the show. And he is running the show. So now with that, check. You know, some very interesting things have been going on, and it's easy to read Michael Murray of where he's getting his business ideas. Okay, so when the announcement trailer for Season 4 came out, some very interesting things happened. One, I posted my my video on mind games and the state of Tekken and stuff like that, and in it I did the segment on mind games using Kazuya. Okay, and that's about close to the same time I dropped my video starting to talk about real world issues. And I'm far from done from doing videos like that. There's more coming. But immediately after that, the next video that Namco drops finally recognizes the pandemic and also shows Kazuya as the main. And there's a lot of interesting things that happened in that video after my videos. Check this out. And also your wording has been awful. You've been saying a balance update, which subconsciously in everybody's thinking that would be implied that the game wasn't balanced before, which is bullshit. The game was fucking balanced. It's just the opinion of fucking other people who don't like certain characters. You don't say that. You say update. Okay? Update. Not balance. Update. Nothing you, right now, Michael, nothing you do is working and everybody's complaining, right? We have to fix that problem. But first, you have to repair the damage that you did before by listening to Adrian, and that's why everybody's so fucking pissed off. So, first, what you would have to do is start unnerfing the characters that you unjustly nerf. Things like Jin's forward 4 and his down back 4. Easy, done. Characters that are good where they're at, you leave them alone. If the character isn't broke, don't fix it. Okay? Like Josie players, they're happy right now. Brian players, they're happy right now. You leave those characters alone. Right? You don't have to fuck with every character. You just undo the things that piss people off. Like Devil Gems, up forward 4 follow up. His frame trap from down forward 4. Those things, give those back to those players. And then leave the rest of the things alone. Just like, just think about it more like a beefy season 2 with all the new moves and all the fucking good upgrades, and just give that shit back to the characters that you took away. One, that'll help repair the damage, okay? That's step 1. Okay, with Yachi, I'm gonna show y'all something that I'm asking that Namco you tweet this. When he goes on blue, look how much time you have before you can do that to fucking launch him. Oh, he still got counter hits. Look at that! That's bullshit. I mean, it should crumple like this. Now, the way it's delivered is also, and this is just business 101. The way you deliver this is also important. No more fucking cliff notes when you're giving it to the Tekken community, because that's where they attack you. When you show them the updates before, the people who hate certain characters will see that, and they attack that. They attack that, and then they attack you. So you don't do that anymore. I'm going to show you an example of my games, and I'm going to use Kazuya, but you can basically use this kind of concept with anybody. But I promise you, if you try the stuff that I'm talking about today, even today, it'll work. But isn't that interesting? And you know what's interesting about that trailer is after it dropped, everybody in the Tekken community was very curious of whose fist Kazuya was punching, because obviously it wasn't Kinomitsu. So whose fist was Kazuya punching? Michael? You know, something... Okay, so when... all I needed was 2 things to know what was going to happen in Season 4 before it was even revealed. When the trailer for Season 4 dropped, and I saw Jin as one of the dummies who was getting beat up in that trailer, and then I saw that Adrian specifically got early access to Season 4, I knew instantly that Jin was nerfed. I didn't even need to see it, and I basically could predict everything else that happened in Season 4, but all I had to do was wait for it to be dropped, and it is exactly like I thought it would be. And here's something very, very fascinating. I'm going to show y'all a glimpse into people's subconscious. They don't even realize, just from a little bit of a clue, how my brain will put all the pieces together because of photographic memory. Alright, so in one of my very first videos, and in my very first videos, I mentioned some buffs that would be good for Kazuya. Now, keep in mind, this is very important. This is right about a year ago. Think about this timeline of how this would apply to a certain character from then being developed and when he's released. Fuck you, man. Alright, now in my last video, I mentioned Jin's down forward 1. Alright, and Michael seems to have a temper. Especially, people get really mad when you catch them in what they're doing. When you nail it on the head, they get the most angry. Interesting how I mentioned Jin's down forward 1 in my last video, and not... It's about a week from that video, within a week, that the trailer was dropped. Interestingly enough, in the trailer, Kinemitsu crushes Jin's down forward 1. How very interesting that that specific character and that very specific move that I mentioned days before is used to show Kinemitsu crushing and then taking it to Jin. That specific character and that specific move. And it all stemmed from what I said a year ago. That's interesting. Check this out. Okay, for Kazuya, this is what I'm asking for. And the reason I'm asking for this is because Kazuya has needed this for a fucking 1,000 years. If you're going to get the game the way it needs to be, I'm just going to put my 2 cents of something that he has needed for, like, ever. But the thing about it is, he's always had it in there. You just need to break up something for Kazuya players. This will help. But this, right here, all you have to do is add 2 options to this, and Kazuya will have everything he fucking needs. Alright? See how it goes like that? Make it to where you can also do that and take out the first punch. Where it could go. I mean, it's already in there. Just make that option. And also, when he's doing that, make it to where you can skip the forward and go straight to the medium. Because what I'll do is give him a low-medium mix-up, and on a counter hit, he gets a full launcher. I mean, a lot of characters have that, and Jin has had that kind of stuff for like 1,000 years. It's not going to make him over freaking powered or anything like that. He's needed this. And then what I would say is make this move, it's down for 1, exactly like both the Jins, with the same hit and recovery as both the Jins, because they got that. Even Jin can go into that, and he has a medium mix-up. But his is slower, so it's safer. That one's not safer, which makes it fair because it has that follow-up. And then what I would say is make this move, it's down for 1, exactly like both the Jin. And then what I would say is make this move, it's down for 1, exactly like both the Jin. And then what I would say is make this move, it's down for 1, exactly like both the Jin. Because it's almost like in my first video, I said, Something I would want for like Kazuya is just make his down forward 1 13 frames because he has a mix-up after that. And then he has like 3-string combos, but he has no mix-ups in it. Just give him like a mix-up. It's almost like a dev listened to that and took that to an extreme with Fuck You Man. Think about Fuck You Man's fighting style. And then they just added Brian's guard breakers with no execution. Remember, it was going to be worse because those guard breakers weren't going to be just against the wall. They were going to be standing. Something I would want for like Kazuya is just make his down forward 1 13 frames because he has a mix-up after that. Something I would want for like Kazuya is just make his down forward 1 13 frames because he has a mix-up after that. Something I would want for like Kazuya is just make his down forward 1 13 frames because he has a mix-up after that. It's almost like a dev listened to that and took that to an extreme with Fuck You Man. Almost like a dev listened to that and took that to an extreme with Fuck You Man. Almost like a dev listened to that and took that to an extreme with Fuck You Man. Both the Jin, because they got it. Even Jin can go into that, and he has a medium mix-up and recovery is both the Jin because they got it. Even Jin can go into that, and he has a medium mix-up. Almost like a dev listened to that and took that to an extreme with Fuck You Man. Almost like a dev listened to that and took that to an extreme with Fuck You Man.
So what Chingat actually means it's a form of anger. Usually you'll see it in business negotiations. Someone will threaten or a counter offer and they'll go, I don't know about that. It actually is, and when people get in bar fights, you know that there's someone's about to throw a punch when they go like this.
Oh, really? Is it like, come on, go ahead?
Yeah, come on, I'm angry.
Even though this entire video is about Leroy and Fuck You Man, there's only one, he mentions one other Tekken character throughout this entire video. Just one. One other character. Out of a cast of about 50 characters, guess which character is the one he mentioned?
そうだよね、海外でもやっぱりテケンつったら行ったカポエラっていうか、ジンの本物の空手になった段階もあったりとか、ね、やっぱりジンの本物の空手になった段階もあったりとか、ね、やっぱりジンの本物の空手になった段階もあったりとか、ね、やっぱりジンの本物の空手になった段階もあったりとか、ね、やっぱり
Wasn't that interesting? See, Michael, I want you to understand this. I've known all this the entire time. But just like in the art of war, there's times where when you're strong, you have to pretend you're weak. When you're close, you pretend you're far away. And see, you don't understand how important the timing of me dropping my last video was. I love God's timing, and that was all him. And I knew I had to do that video before season 4 dropped or anything like that, or anything was shown. But I didn't realize how flawless God would give me the timing. Because see, what happened is you made the teaser that the announcement was going to be on that weekend that there's going to be some season 4 news, right? Right then I was finishing up my video. Uploaded it. My video dropped like the next day. Then you were fucked. That's when you were screwed. It was flawless. See, if I would have done my video too early, you could have watched it and adjusted what you did in season 4. But because you had done that, you had already made the decisions of all the things like nerfing Jin and taking every single one of my ideas for season 4. But you nerfed Jin. And that sent you into panic mode because you're like, oh fuck. Because if you would have changed anything, everybody who worked for you knew it was because of me. But the thing about it is, I guarantee they already know. See, everybody, not just in the Tekken community, but also in the fighting game community, the entire fighting game community, because this is a tight-knit group, is on my side because they know we have the exact same mindset, and I treat everybody like equals, unlike you. And I guarantee the people who work for you are on my side, because even Harada is on my side, because they knows I have the right mindset and you don't. Because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. All you're doing is taking ideas from me. Because all you have to do, just look at this guy. This guy respects Harada. You want to know how I know? Look at the way he's dressed. He's mirroring Harada. This guy mirrors Harada. Why? Because he's worked for Harada for 2.5 decades. So this guy respects Harada. He doesn't respect you. Nobody respects you. Not even the people working for you respect you. And if they see my video, I guarantee they're on my side because I'm in the same mindset with Harada. Now, Harada wears sunglasses, and that's actually a very smart business tactic. Why? Wearing sunglasses, it hides his eyes, and people can't read him, but he can read them. It's an actual thing that you can do to stay in control of situations. Police officers do this all the time, but the thing about it is Harada still, from me, can't hide little microexpressions with his mouth and the way he holds his body. He knows you're a fuck up too now. Alright, he didn't before, but he knows now that you're a fuck up. Alright, and here's the thing. I was ready for you to do something like this. You had two options, Michael. One, you could have played fair. You could have unnerfed Jin. And if you would have done that, I would have left you alone. Everything would have been happy. Everything would have been good. But I always knew that in the back of my mind, there was a chance that you would go for dumbass again and nerf Jin. And I was waiting on something like this. I was like, if he nerfs Jin, I'm going to take everything from him. And that's what I'm about to do. Come on, I want you to do it. I want you to do it. Come on, hit me. Hit me. Hit me. So what happened is you went in panic mode and knew you were fucked. And Adrian, he's using you like a pawn. That's why he gave you early access, because he wanted to get everybody on his side, because he knew this kind of rebuttal was going to come, that I would retaliate, and he wanted to see if he could get as many people as he could. He was already fucked because of the timing of him dropping that. He'd already announced it and he already did it. He didn't know what I was thinking, and then I dropped this. And the entire thing, because of the timing of that, has exposed who you are. And I love that because God knows exactly what he's doing. See, if I would have dropped my video too early, you would have been able to see what I said and then adjust it. And if that had happened, if you would have had unnerfed Jin, did everything like you did in Season 4, did not give early access to Adrian, and then dropped it, and then released it, I would have been happy. Everybody would have been happy. It would have worked out flawless, and I would have left you alone and been able to work. But because it didn't go through like that, it exposed who you were. And now it made me do a little bit of research to actually give some attention to this. And now that I know what kind of person you are, I know that there's no fucking way I'm going to leave Tekken in your hands, because thinking about you in control of something like making Tekken 8 is horrifying. You're a fucking moron. Because I'm going to show everybody this. This is what Tekken's like under Harada.
Are you ready?
This is Tekken.
That's gonna be it! Super Kuma!
We have an animal of a champion here!
Panda. Really?
Going on! What the actual fuck? Oh my God! Beautiful work! Amazing work from him. Standing ovation from the crowd.
But you know, you gotta give it up. Last year's champion, Kudon's getting second place.
Even coming this close is something that will be remembered forever. Amazing work to Kudans. all the rest of the competitors, but right now the spotlight is on the legend. Right, Chu.
This is probably going to be the last time we're going to be on the mic. It is actually, because our world tour is over.
Amazing. Eris, is there anything you want to say to the Tekken fans that are watching? What an incredible journey. And, you know, I mean, the trailers came out. We saw the matches. You know, that was incredible. And I can't be any happier. I couldn't be any happier than to be here with such an amazing crew, amazing group of players, and everyone involved to put this show on for all the Tekken fans out there. It's truly an honor to be here, Mark.
Oh, yeah, and I'm very happy to be here as well. And again, I just love Tekken. And, you know, it's a great time to be a Tekken fan. I said it time and again.
It's easy to love.
Oh, yeah.
Easy to love.
Many of developers were caught flat-footed when their cash cows no longer had an audience, which meant that as the PS2 came out and marked the beginning of a new generation for gaming, fighting game developers were forced to rethink their games. Street Fighter all but went away, and with Sega's departure from the console space, Virtua Fighter games went from yearly to once per console generation. But Tekken survived these lean times, and even thrived.
So from the get-go, Tekken was never really the popular game like that. And, you know, so we just had to play for the love of the game. And that was kind of how it was for Tekken 4, Tekken 5.
While Tekken 4, 5, 6, and Tag 2 didn't quite hit the critical and commercial highs of Tekken 3, the games performed well and kept Tekken chugging along while much of its competition all but vanished.
Yo guys, y'all gonna tell me that one good though? Y'all gonna tell me that one good though? Of course, guys, please make some noise for Rock Dragon Knee! Yo, that dude is a legend. That dude is actually a legend.
Arslan Ash, a Pakistani player with next to no experience on the world stage, came out of nowhere to win EVO Japan.
Oh my God! The tension here. Paul's such a hard-hitting character here. You got to be ready for it.
Arslan trying to close out the tournament.
But he's pushing him towards the danger zone.
Oh, into back swing.
He's in red zone.
Range again. He's the Phoenix ahead. He's the Phoenix behind.
Oh, he got it. It's over.
Arslan's gonna get the tournament. Arslan, he's your EVO Japan champion.
Pakistan taking the tournament over the Philippines.
Despite a terrible travel schedule, visa issues, and the fact that he came from a scene almost no one knew existed, Arslan prevailed. And then he did it again.
All right, guys, this is the moment we have probably all been waiting for. We have the shining star of Pakistan, Mr. Arslan Ash.
Sidestep block, going right every time.
Oh, what a whip punish.
He's got range.
He's going to resplat at the wall.
He's got range. It's going to hurt.
Oh, my
God. He's dead. Wow. Incredible. What a game. But he can just as easily tighten it up and make it so hard for me. Wow. Wow. And just like that, Arslan Ash, I mean, so dominant
what a
out of
statement
Pakistan.
there.
This is crazy.
What's going to happen right now? D looking for this opportunity.
I'm holding my breath.
Oh! They trade blows.
Oh, man, that was a crazy trade. Arslan cementing his position as the best Tekken player on the planet, untouchable.
Arslan became the first player to win both EVOs and the unquestionable best Tekken player in the world in under a year. He put Pakistani Tekken on the map and showed the world that Tekken was about more than just Korea.
Bro, he's still undefeated against me. Not just that, he is the champion.
Wow.
And I don't think anyone's going to forget this. EVO Japan champion, EVO world champion.
Making history.
He's coming after the TWT champion.
Oh, yes,
you
better believe it. Look at him. You can see he's emotional. He made it happen representing Pakistan. Such an unlikely warrior out of nowhere. And, you know, of course, paying respect. I love what I'm seeing there. Beautiful.
This is an amazing story.
Hell yeah.
And this, in just a little over a year, 1 year, is what Michael Murray has done with Tekken. Watch and pay attention of what he's like with this game in his hands.
Leroy Smith had everything.
Holy shit, he uses his cane. This dude looks badass.
He terrorized players online.
Dude, oh my god, bro. This character's so fucking stupid, bro.
Yesterday I saw many comment about the character. I think a lot about that. In grand final or winner final. So, but yeah, just pick Leroy.
But let's face the facts. That doesn't change that Tekken 7 Season 3 fucking sucks. They really gotta fix this shit right away. This is more on Combat Season 3. 6 out of 8 Leroys, that's a joke.
I think he's always going to be a strong character by virtue of how versatile he is. But what they need to try and focus to is not give him the best version of every character's move. Give him a slightly, like, a lesser version, and he makes up for it with his versatility.
His damage output is stupid good.
Why is that natural combo? Explain to me, somebody. Why is that natural combo? Why is that natural combo? Explain.
Dude, why duck when orbital, right? Or orbital or parry is what Ryan's defense's options were, right? You want to go low, I orbital. Higher mid, I parry, right? Right. Oh, it's gonna hurt. Unscaled.
Hey. And it breaks?
Yeah, and it breaks.
The hell?
This is all unscaled. Back to regular scaling.
God. And obviously, Leroy will remain a problem for the foreseeable future. Because certainly some good nerfs here. I like it. But he's still, you know, unbelievably strong.
But in terms of a original Tekken 7 character, I felt as though Leroy was the coolest one. But he's kind of got this tarnished and tainted reputation because he came out so OP.
No, you guys are driving Michael Murray insane, right? You guys are driving this guy so fucking crazy. I think that soon he's gonna start spite balancing. Everyone is complaining and nobody is happy. So why the fuck would I want to be around those people? Tekken fans are already obnoxious when they're happy. Right now, they're irritated. I don't know what to tell you. Hell Sweep's tracking both ways is so fucked up, dude. Oh, look at this moron. Ah, nice. The old sweep. Did you see that? I got him with the Hell Sweep. You can't sidestep that, bitch. Either direction. Can you believe that? I can't believe it. You could do a 1-1 and a Hell Sweep. That's cheap.
Karada got a lot of slack for Lucky Chloe, right? Because people were like, you just like these cutesy-wootsy types of girls and stuff like that. And Nera said he overheard Karada say an offhand comment, well, I'm going to make somebody completely different. Now, in Season 3, take Fukuman and put him right beside Lucky Chloe. With all his scars and all his tattoos and his shape and his size, look at him side by side to Lucky Chloe. And look at his name. Fukuman? How about fuck you, man? You guys just got trolled and you haven't even fucking caught on yet. This is the kind of guy you're dealing with right now. And I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret about Fuck You Man. about the moves that you guys have seen and don't even realize what they actually are yet. And this is why I still don't trust Michael Murray, and he's still an idiot when it comes to this game, and he keeps fucking things up. These moves that y'all see in the trailer, fuck you, man. I'm gonna tell y'all what they are. Those moves are guard breakers. They are exactly like Brian's taunt jet upper, except with no execution. Watch it again. Because when a move is hit on block, it does a little white spark. And this block move that Murdoch blocks this last kick is a block. Stumbles him back, and on the last frame right before recovery, fuck you, man, hits him. And it's so pathetic because he even fucking robs Brian's mock punch to do it. He robs his guard breaker, and he robs his mock punch. He's still copying and pasting some of the best moves in Tekken because this idiot doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And Michael Murray, I'm telling you right now, up front, and I'm warning you, and I'm telling you, you need to take that shit out now, because us Tekken players that know what that is and know how stupid that is are going to roast the fuck out of you if you let that shit drop in this game. Because now I just showed them exactly what that is. That you're a hack. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. You did good. I'm glad you took that dumb shit out. Aren't you glad you listened that you took that dumb shit out of the guard breaking stuff? Because now you gave a character.
This is the point. This is the part of the straw that broke the camel's back. And the turning point for me personally, at least on an emotional level, was when I saw those patch notes with a date on them that indicated that nerfs were prepared for this character before he was released. And it became obvious that the developers had intended to release him strong and nerf him later from his main man. But as the days passed and the issues of the extreme range and the broken hurt box became more and more apparent, and before long we knew we had a new king of jank. Number 4, Legacy. Tekken 7 Season 3 will be remembered as the great stumble, the time when one of the greatest fighting games of all time started to go downhill. We had developers working seemingly against the community, we had bad communication, we had some of the worst balance we've ever had.
And I'm gonna do a video now on how Season 3 kind of dropped the ball. And I'm gonna have to say that it dropped the ball. It kind of sucked. There were some good things there, but Tekken 7 had built up a lot of one hell of a great reputation actually with the initial release, the arcade version, and then Season 1 and Season 2. It was widely considered almost flawless. If you just looked away from the so-so netcode, the lack of offline features, a general lack of content, even though it was no Street Fighter 5, I would say. It was pretty damn solid, but then comes Season 3, and even the most hardcore enthusiasts feel like, what is going on? I've been screaming for nerfs a long time, but now, so yeah, It seems like the developers heard us all, or heard one particular individual. Hello, gym players. Nah, just kidding. That was a joke. No ill feelings towards you guys. Nah, that was also a joke. Hello, gym players. Hello, gym players. Do you see anything different with that title screen there? Oh, right. It's. I think that's Tekken 7 Season 4. Oh, your title screen doesn't look like that. You don't have Season 4. Maybe you're just a loser. I'm just kidding. Of course you're not a loser. You're not a huge, massive loser. Trust me.
I wonder what kind of trouble I'm going to get into, if any. I feel like I try not to even talk about shit. All I try to talk about is like stupid shit that you can't really get in trouble for. This is the kind of stuff that you could probably get in trouble for. People like Rip and people like Spaghetti Rip and other people are mad. Why are these people mad? Why are they sad? What's going on? And I look more into it, and it turns out that some people were given access to Tekken 7 Season 4 and other people weren't, and there was a lot of people unhappy about that, right? And it's like this, the concept is so deep that you don't understand. You can't understand. You don't know the whole story. It doesn't work that way because they need the creator, tournament organizer, commentator, those are all the same. Even tournament players, they need those guys more than Dark Souls needs anything. You know, Death Stranding doesn't need a tournament to exist. A Death Stranding tournament doesn't need to happen. But fighting games need these things to happen to like inspire and create growth and, you know, all this stuff. You need it. So, anyway, let's get back to the whole RIP concept, right? It's a lot of sacrifice, and I feel like it stung especially today for me because I remember those times when I thought to myself, this isn't gonna work. I can't just be about Tekken because even though it seems like we are 69ing each other and it's even, right? Like, this is great. They give me access to something, I can create content with it, and I'm advertising their game. That's great. Except, what about when they give it to someone else first? Or what about when they make a shitty fucking game that you don't like? What's gonna happen then? Yeah.
Season 4 trash. Season 4 trash. Season 4 trash. And Haran, I want you to know this. I can read people. It's without question. But I want you might already know this, but I want to make it clear so everybody knows it. And if you don't, you'll know it solidly for a fact now. Michael Murray is not your friend. All right. At one time, yes, he was, and he probably was. He didn't mind following in your shadow. He has low self-esteem and low confidence, and he loved the attention that came from just being around you. But after years of this and playing second fiddle to you, he became bitter, and it's written all over him. And his low self-esteem and pride got to him. And now that he's in a position of authority, he doesn't want to give that up. And because of his insecurities, he takes it out on other people. But he is not your friend. Trust me on that. And that's how I figured out he was in control after I saw Season 3. And that's also why he's attracted to Adrian and the things that Adrian says. Because Adrian gives people an excuse for their shortcomings by blaming it on characters, and that's why he listened to him. But Michael, you don't understand this. Adrian actually has no pull, no authority. These numbers are deceiving, right? Why? Because who won Tekken Creator of the Year when they actually had that competition? Oh yeah, Eris did. And it wasn't by a little. It was by a landslide.
I don't know. What are you guys up to? Yeah, thank you very much for the congratulations on Content Creator of the Year for Tekken.
Nominate him, that's for sure.
But of course, who's it going to be? There are so many great content creators that are out there. I wish we could give an award to every single one, but we have to pick one.
Who do you have on this one?
Okay, so for this one, I like TekkenGamer.com just because they consistently bring out tons and tons of content, of course, for the Tekken fans. And again, it's not just competitive content, it's just content in general. And I like seeing that there's always some new Tekken stuff to see out of TekkenGamer.com.
Yeah. Personally, I vote for Eris because he has the most entertaining content for me, right? So it's like sometimes not the most informational, but although he's very good at it, at doing informational content as well. So, you know, there's also very educational and entertainment value from his content. But looking at the chat right now.
What did the chat pick?
The chat is kind of ridiculously in favor of Eris. I think Eris may have hosted the channel or something. I don't even know if that's true. I'm going to assume that's the case here. But what's more shocking to me about the chat list is that the main man is so low on this. I really thought that we were going to have a close competition here between Eris and the main man.
So how many followers that are on Eris you think are also on Adrian's too? See, there's a difference between Eris and Adrian. Eris is a Tekken player. Adrian is a combo guy. Alright, Eris teaches people how to actually play the game because he understands the game.
The idea of while standing, he doesn't know about it. He knows how to crouch block. He knows how to crouch block, but he doesn't know how to do a while standing punish. So I'm going to do him a favor and keep doing lows. Alright? Or is it 13? No, this is a minus 13 low. This is a minus 13 low. So for Paul, I think you got to do a while standing 4. So, hey, if you're in the chat room watching this, you want to do a while standing... Yeah, you're getting warmer.
What's the secret?
You're getting warmer, bro. Yeah, that's right. But the 4, not a 2. No, that's a hop kick. You're close. You're getting real warm, bro. 3, you're getting so close. While standing 4. While standing 4. You could do it. That's the 2 button. Ah, you did it. You did it. That's what you're supposed to do when you block this move. The launcher. The launcher. That's 4. Dude, yeah. Oh, look at what we got here. Looky look what we have here. You got to be faster. There you go. Now you got to figure out a combo.
Adrian is not a Tekken player. What he is a combo guy that has a cool personality. He became famous and popular in the game by doing really cool combos. And then he finally showed his face and then became a personality because he has a cool personality. He doesn't understand the game. He doesn't go to tournaments. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. But people like listening to him because he has a charming personality. But Eris is the true influencer, and you pissed him off because he's seeing what I'm seeing with the fucking favoritism and the bullshit. He sees what's about to happen. If you stay in control, the game's going to die. That's why he pulled out. And that's very dangerous because he's your biggest pull for marketing that there is. And you just fucked all that up. See, there's a huge difference. And also, I want to make this clear. There's a difference between Harada and you and me. There's a difference between the three of us. All right. Harada built this game from the ground up. He understands the game. He understands marketing. He understands business. You are a producer who plays Tekken. See the difference? He built the game. He understands marketing. And he knows what the fuck he's doing. You're just a producer who plays the game. I am a Tekken player who understands business better than you. I'm a Tekken player first. I understand business better than you. You're a producer who plays Tekken. There's a difference between all three of us. Get it? And let me explain something to you. See, when Adrian came after me, he had no idea who he was fucking dealing with. Alright, this Adrian has like 100,000 plus subscribers. He comes after this little YouTuber. At the time, barely had, what, like 200 subscribers? He didn't realize who he was fucking with. Now he knows. He knows exactly who he's fucking with. And this video right here is him knowing that I'm coming after you, and he's terrified I'm coming after him. Just like when he says dumb shit like this.
What's up, guys? Main man Sui here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always. And this one goes out to the Jin mains out there, because there's this misunderstanding I feel ever since I talked about Season 2 Jin in videos, 2 years ago, and then did a breakdown on Season 3 Jin. There's this misunderstanding that I hate Jin, that I really dislike him. I want to see him nerfed right into the ground, and I'm super biased against him and unfair. And nothing could be further from the truth.
And Adrian? No, there was no misunderstanding. Everybody in the entire fighting game community knew what your fucking motives were.
I've been screaming for nerfs a long time. But now, yeah, it seems like the developers heard us all, or heard one particular individual. Hello, gym players. No, just kidding. That was a joke. No ill feelings towards you guys. Nah, that was also a joke. Oh, hello, gym players. Oh, hello, gym players.
But Adrian, I want to make this very clear, and I want the entire fighting game community to hear this too and know this. This is not your fault. Alright, you should have never been put in this situation. This is Michael Murray's fault for listening to you. You didn't know what the fuck you were talking about, and there is actually hope for you. I want to tell y'all a little story. Alright, this is my group on Tekken night. It was just like a couple weeks ago. This is my buddy, Dwayne's kid, Ellis. Now, Ellis has only come over like a handful of times, like maybe 3 times. Dwayne's brought him over because it was his turn to watch him when we had Tekken night that week. But Ellis, when he first came over here, begged to play Tekken, alright? And it's usually just guys' night, us hanging out. Well, we finally let him play. But Ellis, just like his dad, is a little shit talker. And he said something to my buddy Elliot, and Elliot beat him, and then, he just said some lighthearted, sarcastic comment back to him. Ellis starts screaming and crying. Ah! And we are all like, what? We looked at him, and then we looked at Dwayne. He was like, he's been spending a lot of time with his mom. Don't look at me. And we were like, oh, God. Well, my friends are assholes, and they show no mercy to anybody, even the kid. And so the kid kept losing, and then he starts pitching the biggest fit we've ever seen, just crying to the top of his lungs, right? And Dwayne finally gets him off the game, and then he begs and begs and begs again to play the game. Now, this entire time, while he's crying, everybody starts pandering to him. It's okay, you almost did good, you did... It's not that bad, he was just kidding, it was just a joke. They're all pandering to him, and his whining's getting worse. So he gets off, and then later, he comes back, and he begs to play again. And finally, they gave in, and they're like, okay, you can play. And before he got on, I said, Ellis, look at me. We're letting you play. There will be no more crying. If you lose, you're not crying. You got it? And he looked at me, and he's like, you're a poo-poo head. I was like, well, you're a crybaby poo-poo head. But if you're going to play, you're not going to cry. Got it? So he starts playing. He loses one round, starts, I said, Ellis, what did I say? No crying. He looked back at me. He went back. He stopped crying. He kept playing. He kept playing. He kept losing, but he stopped crying. And he was having so much fun that when we kept telling him to get him off, he was begging to stay, and he still losing. Interesting thing that happened that night. All the people who pandered to him, he ignored them. By the end of the night, there was only one person he wanted to be around. One person that he was wrestling with. One person he was begging to tickle torture him and just toss him around, throw him on the couch, throw him through the air on the bed. One person. Me. The only person who made him stand up and do what was right and learn to become better and stronger. I was the only one. Now he comes over. When he comes over, he calls everybody a poo-poo head, but he roots me and his dad on, and that's it. One day, Adrian's going to come back to me, and he's going to thank me for making him better and stronger. All the guys that were his fans that came on my page and downloaded my videos and talked shit to me, they're going to thank me. I don't even consider that taking one for the team because I'm going to make them stronger and better. You think they're going to give a fuck about you, Michael, by fucking pandering to everything they say? No. They're going to be on my side. And the same guys who listened to that dude back in the day that said Lozen throws are cheap, and they listened to him when they got it out of their head, and they used to call me cheap, and now they're over here doing Lowe's blocking throws, and their defense is awesome, and they break throws and stuff like that, and they're doing it themselves. It's an unwritten word. They're closer friends with me than they were then now. And that's the same thing that's going to happen with Adrian and all these little fucking tools who came on my channel. I don't even consider that taking one for a team. That's how you become stronger and growing, not pandering and fucking blaming characters and shit. And that's why you went to fucking Adrian. Because you suck. Because again, this is Adrian after going to just one tournament, Evo. His mindset started changing to mine, to Harada's, to Eris's, to Rips, TCC's, the entire Tekken community, and all the top pro fighters in all the fighting game community. He went to one tournament and his mindset started changing, and he will come on this side with us once he gets more into it. This was him.
The competitive aspect actually excites me way more than I thought it would, and I've realized, and yeah, knock on wood here, but I'm never gonna salt again on stream unless it's really laggy. But I'm never gonna salt due to a character matchup again, or feeling that someone plays cheesy. Yeah, okay, these are big words here, considering I can be pretty salty, but I just felt like something clicked when I was there. It's like I just, bam, no, I actually want to. I didn't think I wanted to earlier, but now seeing Evo, I'm like, I wanna try again maybe next year and see if I can do better, or maybe get 97th place again would be epic. But maybe also see, maybe I can do even better. Like, I'm gonna learn every single matchup in the game. Next time I'm in ranked battle with Kazuya and I encounter an Eliza or a Kuma, I'm just gonna stick with it. I'm not gonna play 5 matches and then go, I hate this matchup, whatever, I'm gonna see if I can get anything else. No, I'm gonna stick with it, and I'm gonna learn that matchup 100%. Yoshi, oh, it's a Yoshi. Stick with it, learn it 100%. And I'm gonna patch all of these holes I have when it comes to character knowledge.
Now let's put this tier list bullshit to a fucking end. Because all it is opinion, and it's hollow, and it's fucking worthless. Alright, you guys haven't even catched on what Adrian does. Adrian doesn't even realize what he does. This is about the players, not the characters. Okay, everybody says that Devil Jin's been the top for like, how many fucking years? But who has been playing Devil Jin ever since its release? Nee has. Nee's been playing Devil Jin. He's been at the top of the tier. Nee doesn't pick Devil Jin because he's the top tier. Nee picks Devil Jin, and because Nee uses him, he becomes top tier. When Tekken 7 started, who was the first one to really start using Steve? Nee. Then everybody copied Nee, sending Steve to the top of the tier list. What does Adrian do? He starts whining and complaining about Steve, right? Everybody's ignoring Jin. Then, Book beats Nee, and it was a fucking slugfest. It was a badass match. In 2018, Book beats Nee. Alright, the very next tournament, Nee picks Jin. Now, Book beats Nee with Jin, and the very next tournament, Nee picks Jin and wins that tournament. When everybody was ignoring Jin. They were even shocked that he picked him. What? Jin? Why is he picking Jin? He shouldn't pick Jin. He's going to lose because he's picking Jin. And then he wins. What happens months later? That's when Adrian starts saying that Jin is too strong, too powerful. He's the best character in the game. Okay, and this is going off of Nee. Nee, who wins tournaments with different characters. And then let's look at Book. Book. Okay, so in Japan, Evo Japan 2020, everybody picked Leroy, right? The entire tournament was Leroy. So basically it was an even playing field. Nee was also at that tournament too. Who won that tournament when it was all even playing field? Oh yeah, wasn't it Book? And also, wasn't it Book at the last chance qualifier out of, what is it, over 2,000 people who were fighting for one spot? Book got second place in that, going up against the Pakistan Brian, and it was a fucking badass match. That is the player who was behind Jin. Nee was the player behind Jin. And then immediately after that, that's when Adrian starts saying Jin's the toppest tier. Then after that, everybody's ignoring Paul. And then Nee finally beats Arslan Ash with Paul. And for the last couple months, who has Adrian been complaining about being too strong? Paul. It's not these guys picking characters because they're top tier. They picked the character, and because the player's so good, you guys are the ones saying the characters are top tier. It's not. It's the players, not these characters. And then the fucking stupid ass thing that Adrian's been saying, that, I mean, listen to this fucking mindset.
Jin is really, really good, and he's really, really fun to play. Is he hard? Yeah, he definitely is. This is not an easy character to pick up and play. It's very complicated. You have to use all of these attacks, you know, in great synergy with each other. He resembles Feng Wei quite a bit in that, but the majority of his move list does come into play if you want to be really efficient. And is he strong? Does he pay off when you can do all of this stuff? Man, he really does. But that's reserved for few Jin players, you know, who've really taken the time. So do I dislike Jin? Do I hate Jin? Absolutely not. I really like him. Did he deserve his nerfs ever since Season 2? Yeah, he really did.
So what you're saying is Jin is super complicated, but if you got the skill to finally get good enough with him to where you can win, he's still too strong and you have to nerf him. So you're going to punish those players that are so fucking skilled that they know how to use Jin, but punish them for it.
Season 4, trash.
Don't worry about this, Jarwin. I got this under control. I'm going to get all your tools back for Jin. Because this is fucking bullshit. And I'm sick of it. And also, Adrian, stop using these fucking keywords. What are those two stupid fucking keywords that you always use to justify people getting nerfs? Oh yeah, interesting and identity.
Separates him more from them and gives him reinforced identity in that his Oki is rather weak. It's kind of interesting to have a weakness.
Nobody gives a fuck about your opinion about their character. Alright? You can take that shit and shove it up your ass because nobody fucking cares. Stop saying that shit. Okay, never mind. I'm good. I'm calm. Alright? I'm calm. I'm good. Just getting my point across. And then what Adrian does is, it's straight out of Adolf Hitler's book. Adolf Hitler wrote this straight out of his book. Make a lie big enough, tell it too many times. Adrian's doing the exact same fucking thing. Saying Jin's fucking too strong, best character in the game, when it is the most... It was one of the last persons he got to Tekken God Prime. It was one of the most difficult persons he got to Tekken God Prime. Jin players are getting bodied online, and he fucking knows this. It's a fucking lie. And Michael knows this too. He knows it's a fucking lie. They just did this out of spite. This is no fucking... What Adrian does and Michael Murray are doing is no fucking different than what the media does nowadays. This is from my buddy John Talks.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility
is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities, the El Paso, Las Cruces communities, Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about trouble and trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country. Plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 If you want to see more cool shit like this, go follow my buddy John Talks and Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers and DDayCobra. Yeah, they do a bunch of cool shit like that. But Adrian's doing that same fucking type of shit. And Michael Murray is all about that kind of shit too. They were doing it. Both of them were doing it. Just to spite me. Alright, now let's get back to Michael. And the combination between Michael and Adrian. Because, like I said, since the beginning, I've already been through this. I've won this war, I know how to fight this war, and I'm going to win it again. Because Michael, you are exactly like that guy who used to be in our group, who manipulated everybody to thinking that lows and throws were cheap. Interesting thing about that guy, and we have nicknamed him Voldemir from Harry Potter because the name Voldemir means the one that shall not be mentioned. Now, because he's such an outcast and he's just such a piece of shit. Interesting thing about that guy is he had a sidekick, a tall, lanky dude that when he wasn't around Voldemir was actually a cool dude. But when he was around Voldemir, he was just as big a troll as Voldemir was because they tag teamed together when they were trolling people and doing the same kind of shit.
Well, hello, gym players.
But you are exactly like him. You have the exact same mindset, and I'm going to show this and prove this. Okay, so Voldemir, the reason he was such a prick that we found out later from his girlfriend is that, and I've already said this in previous videos, is he had insecurity issues that he was trying to hide. But I do want to tell you a little fucking story. I will never say his name because of, just respect of human beings and stuff like that. But interesting story about this. We'll dive into a personality about the guy. After he was exiled, we were having Tekken night a couple years ago at my house. One of my buddies brought this new girl he just started dating over with him. And people were playing, everybody was around. She was sitting on the couch with me, we were talking, just getting to know each other, whatever. But come to find out, she had dated the fucking guy who got exiled, the fucking dickhead. And I was like, we talked about like, wow, what a small world, because my new buddy that I just met at my new job who was playing Tekken with us, now she was dating him. It was just the craziest story, just talking about a small world. But we started talking about him, and she held something back, and I was like, no, wait, you're holding something back. And she was all sheepish. So I was like, no, stop. You need, tell me, talk to me. What the fuck, what are you holding back? She was like, well, I do got a confession about him. This is no fucking joke. After years of knowing this fucking prick, after he was exiled, this girl who fucking dated him just like a couple times, we found out why he was such a prick. He was overcompensating for something. This is a true story. You guys ever seen The Hangover? All of us were dying laughing. She even started laughing, and she was trying not to. She's like, no, it's actually sad and pathetic. And then his ex-girlfriend after that came up, and she was like, well, she's right. It's pathetic. Oh my God. And Michael, all anybody has to do is look at you, and they can see. I can see just by body language and just by looking at you, your insecurities. People who don't even know about body language can look at you and see that you're insecure about yourself. But you take that insecurity and you take it out on other people because you want respect so much, but respect is earned. It's not just given. So fuck you on that. That's one area you're exactly like. Now let's look at it in the game. What he would do is he would say lows and throws are cheap. Why? Because he didn't like me kicking his ass and getting inside his fucking head. And then he would troll people and laugh at them and mock them to get them on his side. You're exactly like this. Because what did you do with the first character that you released when you got your hands on the reins? You made Leroy Smith. And what does Leroy Smith do? He automatically parries lows. And he can reverse, I'm not even going to call it parry because it's not. He can reverse a high and medium. Right? And now what he would do, what Vladimir would do when he would sit down and play me and I would fucking whoop his ass, he would get so mad he would look at me and he'd be like, you couldn't beat me if you weren't using those lows and throws. I didn't say nothing because one, I ain't got shit to prove to him because he's a fucking moron. But what you're doing is you're going after Jin, and you don't want Jin players. You don't want Jin players using forward 4. You don't want them using down back 4. You don't want them using down 4. You don't want them having a frame trap and forward 4-4. And you don't want them using standing 4. Regular standing magic 4. You want them just poking. That's it. You want them to poke, not use those other moves, but you will make a character that auto low parries lows and can reverse highs and mediums. You and Adrian are both fucking morons. And now the entire fighting game community sees it. You're exactly like him. And let me tell you something about his character. Alright, this guy used to play Battlefield 3, pretending like he was badass, and then it was found out that he used an aimbot to play Battlefield 3. That's the kind of person he is, and that's the kind of person you are, because you nerf certain characters out of jealousy, out of spite. You are unfit to run any type of company because you're a man baby. And the thing about it is like, you think it was cool when Harada, like, goes off on people in the community. But there's a difference between a father scolding his kids to get in line and a giant fucking man baby brat bully who is spiteful, and if he gets pissed off at somebody, because he's pissed out, he will nerf their characters, not realizing the overall picture that there's thousands of people that are affected by that. You're an idiot. There's a difference between y'all two. You're exactly like him. Let me tell you another story about this guy. This guy was a liar, a manipulator, and he would steal thousands of dollars of stuff from his friends. Now that tall, skinny kid, and keep this in mind, Adrian, that tall, skinny kid that was his accomplice, we got a hold of him, or my buddies got a hold of him, found out he has nothing to do with Vladimir now, because he screwed him over and over and over repeatedly until he's like, man, fuck you, I'm out. And that dude is actually successful now in life. And he is a pretty cool dude when he got away from that toxic shit. Take note of that, Adrian. Get the fuck away from Michael Murray. He's a moron. Now, another story about him is because of his insecurities that he had inside of him, one of my buddies, my buddy Chris, who comes on Tekken night, saw him punch his girlfriend in his front lawn. So my buddy Chris comes out and knocks him the fuck out, punches him, lands him on his ass. What the fuck, dude? He's like, you're not going to hit a woman around me. That's the type of character that he had. And you are playing the game exactly like him. What does that tell me about your character? So now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. How to take somebody down like Michael Murray. And this is about all of us. This is not just about Tekken. This is about the entire fighting game community. Because it doesn't matter if it's Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Guilty Gear, it doesn't matter. This fighting game community We're all connected. Everybody knows everybody. We're all friends. And when one game does good, they all do good. And we're all together on this. And this is important for all of us, because I am fucking sick and tired of watching companies and people and businesses taking advantage of these players because of the passion that they do, the influence that they do. Michael, you're the first person I'm going to make a fucking example of where this shit stops, this fucking trolling and this bullshit for fucking shit stains like you. But how do you actually take this down? Well, you know, interesting when you start looking up what the definition of power really is. Power is the influence over people. And I'm about to give all of you, YouTubers, influencers, trolls, the entire fighting game community, I don't care what game you play. Doesn't matter. Because it's just different preferences. Some people like Aston Martin, some people like Dodge Challenger, some people like four-door Honda Accords. It doesn't matter. You get in the car, you press on the gas, it goes. It doesn't matter. There's still mind games. You're still refining yourself. We are all together. We are all equals. And I'm going to give you guys the power over Michael Murray. Because power actually is influencing people. And if you guys want real power and real influence, all it took was minutes of research. And second, for me I figured this out in a second. Think about this. Okay. Harada is in charge of Tekken for 2.5 decades. He gets it to where it is successful. Right? Michael Murray's under him. But Harada is moved to esports, but still helps with Tekken. And then Michael Murray is promoted. Alright? Michael Murray's promoted to main producer. Harada's not happy over here with what Michael's doing. Right? And he's not saying anything about it, though. He's keeping it hush-hush. He's just giving out. It's in his body language and the little messages he sends out that I pick up on. Harada's moved over here. He's promoted. How did this happen? Somebody had to make that choice. The guy above them. Meet Satoshi Oshida. Now, Satoshi is Michael Murray and Harada's boss. And Eris, Markman, and Tasty Steve met this guy at the reveal trailer of Akuma.
That's some wall scroll
This is the president of the company, by the way.
Oh, this is the president of the company.
He's the chief of the NAM Cops?
Yo, he's the
wow.
Satoshi Oshida.
Awesome.
So he's asking when.
He's Judge Dredd. That's Judge Dredd.
The chief of
NAM
the cop police.
He actually went out to Evo, right?
What's that?
He was at Evo this year.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's from Holdings. This is from the actual game company.
Gotcha.
Everybody be cool.
Yeah.
It's Judge Dredd.
Put your hands up.
Yeah, hands on your head.
Okay, so there's only 2 reasons that Harada wouldn't say anything about Michael. 2 reasons. One would be a gag order so that, it looks out for the best interests of the company. Or 2, Satoshi has favoritism toward Michael. That's why he got promoted, and Harada would know not to say anything. But I know that Harada does respect Satoshi. I could tell, as soon as I saw him, I could tell in his mannerisms, the way he dresses and everything, there's things that Harada mirrors of him, so he has high respects for him. So if Michael's in good with him, he's not going to say anything about that. But what trumps that is that this is a publicly traded company. And so that means there's shareholders. So it doesn't matter about favoritism. See, actually, Bandai owns 57.3% of the shares, and Namco owns 43%. And it's a joint thing, right? So, Satoshi probably doesn't know how bad Michael's been fucking up. So if you guys want real influence, then all we have to do is let Satoshi know. And it's easy to send a clear message. All the guys who've been trolling and getting fucked over by Michael, all you have to do is go to his Twitter account, put this guy's name in it with Michael's to get his attention. Hey Michael, we're going to tell Satoshi about how bad you've been fucking up. Hey Michael, we're going to tell Satoshi there's this guy on YouTube who's living rent-free in your head. Hey Michael, we're going to tell Satoshi that you're showing favoritism. Hey Michael, we're telling Satoshi that you're fucking up. And you also go to these two Twitter pages of the Bandai Namco America, Bandai Namco Entertainment, and start saying, hey Satoshi, your boy Michael's fucking everything up. Hey Satoshi, your boy Michael is running the game into the ground. Hey Satoshi, your boy Michael doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And all you have to do is get his attention. Because stocks, like I've said before, are based on profit and popularity. And they're not going to like this kind of bad press that, Michael, you've been doing. Because, Michael, let me explain this to you. You look at me and other people as gym players, and you've been thinking it's fun to spite nerf a character and to troll gym players.
Oh, hello, gym players.
Season 4, trash.
But shareholders don't look at gym players like gym players. They look at them like consumers. And you just piss them off. Now, the main key that I want to do is I want to get this information to Satoshi. Who knows, he might be watching this video now. I mean, Michael, you're watching it. Harada's watching it. The entire fighting game community is watching it right now. All the top influencers are all watching this video. So who knows? He might be. And sir, if you are watching this, Satoshi, I have seen how Harada mirrors you and he respects you. Because of that, you already have my respect. And I want to make clear at the beginning. But I also want to say, sir, that I'm telling you now, if you leave Michael Murray unchecked where he is, it's going to be a disaster. And he's going to make this game, he's going to make the game die. He's going to kill it. Just like Ares predicted years ago about the other game.
So I didn't give a fuck about that. I knew Hildy was so fucking cheap. And I said, you guys better ban her or the game's gonna die. This is back when I used to care, you see. I was like, it's gonna die. The game is fucking garbage with this character. She ruins the whole fucking thing. They're like, Eris is an idiot. He's whining. He doesn't know the matchup. He's an idiot, you know, talking all this shit. Then the game dies. Then, to save the game, they ban Hild. I was the thing that I'm laughing at now. Back then.
Now, sir, I do want to make a couple things clear. I know you wanted esports division to do better, and you picked Harada because everything he does, he's good at, because he is very intelligent and he knows exactly what he's doing. I get that. I understand that. But, sir, I want to talk to you in business terms so you get this. The image of the company and the game of Tekken is more important. And let's do this in mathematical things. Okay, Tekken 7 has done the best it ever has in 2.5 decades, right when it was getting to the peak. Harada was the one who led that. Why? Because everybody likes him because he knows what he's doing. And also, to do the math on that, Tekken is about $60 a pop when you first get it. And then add an extra $100 for all the extra stuff. Now times that times 6 million. And you start to see that the image of Tekken is more important for Bandai Namco than a division like esports. The image of Harada is more important for Bandai Namco than that. So this is more important for the profit of the game and just the overall popularity of the game. Now people respect Harada. Nobody respects Michael. Because I've been showing how incompetent he is. So, sir, I'm gonna tell you these are the options. If you leave Michael where he's at, he's going to run the game into the ground. You're going to lose millions. So the other options you have is put Harada, let him keep whatever raise you gave him, and put him back in control of Tekken because that's more important. Give him full creative control again. Or do something to where he has the final say on everything. Every idea that comes to him, he can trump it. He can throw it out the window. He can present different ideas, and they have to be approved by Harada himself because that's more important for the company. Or the best option you have is just get rid of Michael. He's incompetent. He doesn't know what he's doing. He has terrible people skills, terrible marketing skills, and he's been getting all his ideas from me. And here's the thing about that. All the ideas that he gets from me has been succeeding. All the things he has done on his own, or all the things, and I told him this prior, do not compromise with the things I'm telling you. He's compromised with the things I'm telling you. Everything he compromised with blows up in his face. Everything he does on his own blows up in his face. Every time he listens to Adrian, it blows up in his face. Everything he has listened to me about has succeeded. So you might as well just cut out the middleman. And yes, just so you know, if you would want my assistance, consider this video my job application. That you would actually have somebody, the freak of YouTube, who can look at people and read their subconscious through the filter of social media. Also, I can read businesses like I just did with this company without even doing any research. I can also do things like read nations, China. I can also do things like read people's body language when they're about to do something shady that night and they know it, Joe. I can also read people's body language when they are terrified they're going to get caught in something shady and it's going to come back to them and they regret getting involved in something shady that they're in. Camilla, I could just observe these things. These are the things I do. But I'll give you an idea of some of the things that somebody who knows what they're doing in Michael's position can do. See, number one goal is to bring the entire fighting game community together. No, first, number one goal is to fix Tekken 7. Then bring the entire fighting game community together. And I'm talking about other games like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and stuff like that. And just, I have a lot of ideas of how we bring this all together for the best, and that will be the best for Tekken 2. For example, Tekken X Street Fighter doesn't have to be scrapped. Because what you could do is take some of the best characters and best legacy characters from the Tekken roster, bring them over, bring some of the best Street Fighter characters, bring them over. But what you do, and this is easy, I know exactly how to do this. You make those characters like Tekken characters. Not bring in the Street Fighter system, but make them like Tekken characters. That's exactly what Street Fighter X Tekken did. And we just do the reverse. Now, if you do that, what that'll do will be kind of like an off game. That off game will also go to tournaments. That off game also will be a spin-off of Tekken 7, so Tekken 7 will continue to sell more copies. At the same time with that, that will give you more time in the background to develop Tekken 8. And it'll also bring, you know, more people from Street Fighter over, and then, you know, crossing. It's just a smart business decision, and it wouldn't be that difficult because I know exactly how to pull that off. You think Michael could figure something out like that? You think he has the people skills and business skills to persuade people to make that happen? No, he doesn't. He's ignorant. He's incompetent. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's getting all his ideas from me anyway. I also have ideas for Tekken 8 to make it one of the most beautiful fighting games ever made. I have ideas for the background to make interactive backgrounds that we haven't seen before that would be interesting and change dynamics of fighting. But those kind of things, those kind of ideas, I'm not going to share. You'd have to hire me for that.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
Also, okay, let's just say also, Satoshi, sir, let's just say for the sake of argument, you were to go with somebody like me. Now, what I would do is I would come in and I would get Tekken 7 squared away again, bring the entire fighting game community together as equals and treat people like equals. I would even be able to, again, work with ideas of, you know, people in the community, but I also know when to stop their ideas when their ideas are wrong. But I would secure Tekken 7, secure games, spin-off games like Tekken X Street Fighter, and make sure that Tekken 8 was taken care of. But let's just say opportunities were to open up for me, which they're probably going to open up anyway. And like Harada, let's just say Harada didn't want to stay with Tekken, and that's why he would go to something like esports or something like that. Regardless, it doesn't matter. But if I was in that position, what I would do to secure the future of Tekken and Bandai Namco is I would make sure I found the right person for that job. And it would not be somebody who was my friend. It would not be a buddy. It would not be somebody who's even been in the company around and thinks because they've been around, it's their time to take that position. No. There would be a couple of criteria I would be looking for and things I would make sure a person had to secure the future of the company and the game. 1, they would have to have the right character, the most important part. 2, the right knowledge of the game. 3, they would have to understand business and marketing. And 4, they would have to have people skills. I have all 4 of those qualities. Harada has all 4 of those qualities. Michael Murray has 0 of those qualities. He has none of those 4 qualities. So I would make sure that the right person was in that position. Because right now, as the way things are, with him not having any of those qualities, it is doomed. It is destined to be a failure coming up because he screwed up so much in just 1 year. But sir, I just wanted to present all this stuff and bring all this stuff to your attention. I thank you for your time. And again, I do respect you. And I just have confidence that you'll get this message. Now, Michael, back to you. Was it really worth it to you to nerf Jin? Now, you're probably wondering how I did all this. Well, it says in the Bible that God knows where wisdom is. There's a place that wisdom is kept and stored, and he only gives it to those people who please him. So guess who has my back? That's why you're fucked. And also, all the things, all the resources you have at your fingertips. And I just owned you using a discounted camera from Amazon. And that's how I bought my property.
You know the thing that they have in common? They're cheap. This town deserves a better class of crime. I'm gonna give it to them. Tell your men they work for me now.
See, you didn't realize who you were dealing with. Adrian's Captain Carl. And now you're Carl. Because I just made you my bitch in front of you.